God message, your future spouse is sending a message to you. Open it immediately. Archangel Michael says your heart is about to receive a living message. The lamp inside your spirit is flickering brighter, because someone is walking toward it. A promise that once felt distant is already moving into your daily breath. A hush moves through the night like silk, carrying a name that warms your ribs. Your future spouse is writing to you in the language of quiet courage. The page is invisible, yet the words press softly against your skin. You sense the tug when the wind pauses at your window. You feel the electric pull when the clock lands on repeating numbers. These are not accidents, they are the footsteps of a vow approaching. A letter travels without paper, steady as moonlight and certain as sunrise. It speaks of a meeting arranged by timing too precise to be called luck. It speaks of a home that recognizes you before you step through the door. The message begins with recognition, because love sees before it is seen. Your future spouse recognizes your voice even in your silence. They recognize your history without needing every detail, because the core shines through. They are learning the shape of your patience and the tone of your resilience. They honor the storms you survived without demanding proof of the thunder. They read your scars like constellations that map to a safe harbor. The message carries apology for every false start you endured. It carries respect for every boundary you drew to protect your soul. It carries gratitude for your refusal to shrink just to fit inside someone else's shadow. Listen as the air shifts, because the message chooses simple doors. A familiar song repeats in unusual places and pulls your face toward the light. A certain color keeps appearing when you doubt your intuition, steadying your step again. Your future spouse speaks in the rhythm of responsibility. They speak of showing up on time and staying longer than comfort allows. They speak of building with brick, not fog, and they mean every breath of it. They are preparing a table that will not wobble when seasons change. They are practicing honesty even when the mirror feels heavy. They are learning to place tenderness beside truth so both can breathe. Archangel Michael says your readiness grows each time you choose dignity. Your heart stretches without tearing, because grace keeps its hands under you. Your future spouse feels that growth and turns their face toward you with steady eyes. The message names your quiet excellence and calls it by its true weight. It says your consistency is the compass that guides this union home. It says your laughter is the roof that keeps winter from the children of tomorrow. There is a scene unfolding where two paths finally decide to agree. A streetlight hovers above a corner you do not normally walk. Yet today your feet move there as gently as a flake of ash finding water. You notice the sky choose a deeper blue than usual. You notice strangers treating time like a secret they cannot hold. You notice your breath slowing because the moment has already recognized you. The message warns gently about the echo of old stories. Fear will try to dress like common sense, yet the fit looks wrong at the shoulders. Doubt will try to sound like planning, yet the voice cracks when asked to sing. Your future spouse writes that trust must be built like a bridge across a canyon. Both sides must measure, both sides must anchor, both sides must walk to the center. There will be tremors, and the tremors will teach the planks to find their courage. They are ready to forgive the versions of themselves that could not love properly. They are ready to lay down pride like a weapon that never brought safety. They are ready to choose peace without confusing it for silence. The message carries an image of 2 cups on a wooden table. The steam rises in twin ribbons that eventually braid together. This is how conversations will feel when the truth becomes the furniture. You will talk about money with respect instead of fear. You will talk about family without performing for ghosts. You will talk about dreams like roadmaps, not escape routes. Archangel Michael says alignment looks ordinary from far away. It looks like calling when you say you will call and arriving when you promised. It looks like kindness repeating itself until the house learns the pattern by heart. Your future spouse asks you to keep your phone charged on a certain evening. Not because they need attention, but because timing is walking on the hour hand. They have a message to deliver that requires your yes to be awake. They plan a meeting that honors the way you carry your days. They choose a place where softly lit windows hold steady against the evening. They choose a table with space for your elbows and your possibilities. They will not rush, because rushing bruises meaning. They will not test you, because testing confuses love with performance. They will not vanish, because vanishing belongs to those who cannot promise. Your future spouse reveals a small object they carried for months. It is simple, like a pebble kept in a pocket to remind the hand of rivers. It is meaningful, like a key that only fits doors built from truth. The message says your body will know before your mind finds the words. Your shoulders will lower as if someone removed a coat you forgot you were wearing. Your eyes will soften as if the horizon stepped closer and asked for conversation. They will speak about past mistakes with ownership rather than excuses. They will describe lessons like tools laid neatly in a drawer. They will place their name beside their actions and not look away. The message does not promise ease every hour. It promises partnership that does not collapse under pressure. It promises repair that wants to learn, not argue with gravity. Your future spouse names the seasons to come in simple order. First, a season of clearing, where closets release what no longer fits. Then, a season of planting, where mornings carry quiet plans in tender soil. Next arrives a season of celebrating, where small victories stack into shelter. Finally, a season of sharing, where your love becomes a table set for others. Throughout, patience serves as a lantern that does not flicker in storms. They do not want a pedestal, they want a place to kneel beside you. They do not want a fan, they want a friend who tells the truth kindly. They do not want possession, they want partnership with open windows. The message speaks of hands learning new choreography. One hand sets boundaries and the other hand waters trust. Both hands build a rhythm only the two of you can keep. You will create rituals that invite calm to sit down. A weekly walk that remembers the first day your footsteps agreed. A monthly moment where you read letters you wrote before you met. You will write vows that fit like clothing stitched to your measurements. Not grand declarations that dazzle and then fade, but living garments that endure. Promises that walk, not perform, and still arrive looking beautiful. Archangel Michael says acceleration follows alignment. When your yes and their yes stand beside each other, doors that resisted will open. When your boundaries and their honesty hold hands, miracles stop hiding. Your future spouse feels your longing and answers with steadiness. They feel your fatigue and answer with shelter. They feel your courage and answer with commitment. They suggest a tiny trip to mark the beginning. Not far, not loud, just a short journey to bless the first steps. A train ride where the windows practice holding a shared future. They place a note in your palm with practical tenderness. It includes a realistic budget and a timeline that respects your work. It includes space for interruptions, because life breathes between plans. The message honors your independence and does not ask it to disappear. It honors your voice and asks it to sing even on ordinary Tuesdays. It honors your past and invites it to become wisdom instead of weight. Your future spouse promises protectiveness that never cages you. They promise attention that never smothers you. They promise devotion that never bargains with your worth. There is a room you have not entered yet that already carries your laughter. There is a door you have not opened yet that already knows your name. There is a light you have not switched on yet that already remembers your face. The message says the ring will arrive as a conversation before it becomes a circle. It will live first as shared intention and careful planning. It will become metal only when both hearts feel at home. They will kneel with reverence for the road behind you. They will rise with reverence for the road ahead of you. They will stand with reverence for the love between you. You will feel the future lean closer without collapsing the present. You will feel the everyday become the miracle you once chased. You will feel the long ache finally choose a seat and rest. The message asks you to keep faith practical and keep hope hydrated. It asks you to sleep well, because rest is the architecture of clarity. It asks you to eat kindly, because nourishment is a promise kept to your body. Your future spouse is signing the bottom of a letter written by destiny. Their name matches the curve of yours like two rivers agreeing to meet. Ink dries, heart steady, and the page releases the fragrance of arrival. They declare that their love is not a performance but a practice. They declare that their loyalty is not a sentence but a garden. They declare that their presence is not a gift with conditions but a home with windows. You both begin to collect moments that fit each other like bookends. A quiet breakfast where sunlight decides to linger on your shoulders. An evening walk where streetlights nod as if they understand. The message closes with a promise that does not tremble. It closes with a breath that sounds like relief wearing joy. It closes with a certainty that history cannot undo. Archangel Michael says the door is already unlocked for your steps. Walk through with your shoulders high and your voice unhidden. Receive the message that carries your name like music finally finding its note. Your future spouse is near enough to feel the gentlest call. They are brave enough to do the work that love requires. They are kind enough to make a life that lets you breathe. A final whisper presses against your heart with warm insistence. Steady your pace, hold your boundaries, and welcome what keeps its word. Your life is turning toward its own sunrise, and the horizon has chosen you. The message widens like a horizon that keeps stepping forward. Your future spouse gathers each piece of your story and arranges them with gentle accuracy. The puzzle forms a picture that feels familiar even in its newness. They speak about mornings that begin without alarms made of panic. They describe coffee that tastes like stability and sunlight that behaves like a blessing. They promise presence that does not require performance from you. A small apartment becomes a rehearsal room for larger peace. Two chairs learn the music of conversation and the floor remembers the weight of dancing. Even the hallway picks up the rhythm of your returning footsteps. They choose honesty over the fireworks of drama. They choose repair over the pride of pretending to be unbreakable. They choose you over the silence that once guarded their fears. You learn to translate each other's pauses. A long breath means the heart is walking carefully around a memory. A quick glance means reassurance would be a welcome visitor. The message paints a scene of meeting those who raised them. Their mother measures your steadiness and finds it trustworthy. Their father notices your kindness and nods as if a task is completed. Your circle expands without swallowing your individuality. Friends become ambassadors who carry laughter between homes. Neighbors become witnesses who wave at the daily ceremony of devotion. The work of staying becomes the craft you both practice. You build a shared calendar that honors both focus and rest. You create a savings plan that turns dreams into errands. A modest trip becomes a milestone written on the map of your bond. The train rolls through fields that look like open pages. Your hands rest together like bookends that protect a growing library. You take photographs with meaning rather than perfection. Some pictures blur because joy refused to hold still. Some pictures sharpen because truth decided to stand center frame. They write that your arguments will become classrooms, not courtrooms. Each conflict teaches language you did not know you needed. Each repair plants roots that learn to hold the house during rain. They learn how your shoulders react when stress arrives uninvited. You learn how their voice shifts when courage is getting dressed. Together you learn which words open windows and which words close doors. You decide how to host the holidays without swallowing your peace. You choose simple menus that allow conversation to breathe. You choose rituals that fit your values like clothing with room to move. A stray cat appears one afternoon as if auditioning for a new life. You name it after a star that navigators used long ago. The tiny heartbeat curls near your feet and your home learns another rhythm. Work tests the edges of patience, and yet love refuses to fray. Schedules stretch like rubber bands but never snap. A gentle check-in becomes the knot that keeps everything gathered. You practice saying no to invitations that do not honor your growth. You practice saying yes to rest that keeps your spirit from burning out. You practice saying now to dreams that waited too long in the hallway. Your future spouse learns to leave notes for your morning eyes. 3 lines on a scrap of paper carry the power to steady a long day. Ink becomes a small river that delivers courage to your pulse. You both create a shared document of hopes and logistics. It holds timelines for projects and budgets for adventures. It holds reminders that love uses planning as a form of devotion. An elder in the family shares a story that unlocks compassion. You realize lineage carries both weight and wisdom. You choose to carry the wisdom and set the weight down gently. A friend calls during a storm, and you become shelter together. You cook soup and make space on the couch for someone who needed a harbor. Your home learns to be useful when thunder tries to brag. The message names the day your keys become copies on a ring. Metal touches metal with a quiet promise of belonging. The door opens to a chorus of ordinary miracles waiting in baskets. Your bookshelf merges in a ceremony without official words. Their favorite novel leans beside your dog-eared memoir. 2 histories learn to stand shoulder to shoulder without arguing. You select paint colors that understand the language of light. The bedroom sighs in relief when the walls exhale a calmer hue. The kitchen brightens like a thought that finally found clarity. They frame a photo from your first winter walk. Snow rests on the branches like letters waiting to be read. Your breath makes small clouds that look like the future signing its name. Archangel Michael says courage is the quiet law of this union. When fear knocks, truth answers with open hands and a steady gaze. When doubt whispers, evidence of devotion speaks louder without shouting. You plan a modest celebration that refuses to forget joy. It includes a playlist of songs that know how to hold memories. It includes a table that invites stories to sit down and stay a while. The rings are simple and serious. They carry the curve of a promise you intend to refill daily. They shine just enough to remind your hands that they belong to something larger. Vows arrive like tools, not decorations. They agree to carry weight when life becomes heavy. They agree to stay curious when patterns try to harden. The message shows how you will handle success. You will keep the door open for gratitude to move in. You will keep the floor clear for humility to walk around without tripping. It also shows how you will meet disappointment without breaking. You will add chairs for patience and wisdom to sit with you. You will let grief wash the stone until the face of meaning appears. Your future spouse practices the art of celebrating your wins. They clap first when you cross small finish lines. They hold you strong when your legs remember their strength late. You practice the art of seeing them accurately. You notice effort before results and character before applause. You notice integrity even when no spotlight appears. Slow Sundays become holy without needing ceremony. Pancakes flip like pages in a gentle book. Laundry hums like a background choir that steadies the room. A garden grows with surprising loyalty to your touch. Herbs huddle in window boxes, sharing fragrance with the evening. Tomatoes learn your patience and reward it with bright honesty. You keep a jar for travel coins and kindness notes. Each coin stands for a mile you have not yet walked together. Each note stands for a moment when love outsmarted exhaustion. The message folds in a map to a seaside town you will visit. Waves write your names on sand that keeps learning how to let go. The horizon draws a straight line that your hearts learn to trust. A child in the park hands you a dandelion crown. You accept it as if receiving a medal from the future. Your partner takes a photo that captures a promise wearing light. A mentor explains that long love is a practice of daily recalibration. You both receive the lesson with humility and relief. You adjust by millimeters until the compass agrees. You write a shared mission statement and tape it inside a cabinet. It reads like a calm bell that rings in busy kitchens. You read it aloud on difficult days and watch the room correct itself. You create boundaries that keep noise from swallowing your focus. Social media becomes a tool rather than a temperature. Privacy becomes a garden that grows the rarest fruit. Your future spouse returns from a work trip with a small stone. It fits your palm like a memory that decided to sit still. You place it on the windowsill where sunrise loves to begin. The message speaks of health as a daily handshake with your future. Walks replace worries that do not deserve your oxygen. Meals become letters of gratitude addressed to your cells. When illness visits uninvited, you choose teamwork over terror. Appointments become a series of doors you walk through together. Recovery writes patient poems on the calendar until energy returns. You send postcards to your younger selves with careful handwriting. Each card thanks them for surviving without the tools you now own. Each card invites them into the joy that finally learned your address. Archangel Michael says protection surrounds a union that honors truth. No rumor can survive in a house where transparency breathes. No manipulation can root in a garden tended by two awake gardeners. You design a giving tradition that keeps your love porous. Monthly, you choose a cause that needs quiet reinforcement. Your table learns to extend its leaves without complaining. You create a celebration for every 100 ordinary days. Candles become scorekeepers of grateful repetition. Smiles become signatures on the contract of gentle endurance. Your closets hold outfits for future ceremonies you cannot yet name. A blazer waits for a promotion that already respects your worth. A dress waits for a concert where you clap like healed thunder. You teach each other small talents that feel like gifts. They show you how to fix a hinge that squeaks at the wrong hour.